Okay, hang on now. Don't let your ADD get the best of you. There we go. Should put the strap on. Yeah, something like that. Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Bass. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, you've been watching these videos of me doing videos of these basses and guitars and stuff. Don't know if I got the whole bass in there because it's so much bigger. I kind of realized something. I've been neglecting my bass. I've been really focusing on the drums, which, I mean, look at this beautiful drum kit. Of course, I'd focus on the drums. I've been playing guitar like crazy because, well, I am a guitar player, right? Nothing wrong with that. I don't judge, you know. But my bass, my Ibanez something 205 XYZ 995152 ZZ8 Q4 Ibanez thingy, whatever. You know, I think it's something like it's a GO205 is the short answer. W for walnut stain or whatever. This is the base model line of Geo basses. You can get a 4-string short scaled. Same as this, but one pickup, and I think it's the same pickup. Like up to about $700-800, you get the same pickups in all the Ibanez's. So be careful what you spend. Like if you want the really pretty one with the Carillion burst, I get that, but you're basically buying this bass with a fancy paint job. There's no other upgrades to it. It's just a better paint. That's it. Komu body. I think it's a Jabota fingerboard, maple neck. I forget the Ibanez Geo pickups. I've got the fat switch on it. Volume, tone. And it's been a good bass. It's been a very good bass. Billy Sheehan said something really interesting about basses. He goes, your first bass, he goes, a lot of people upgrade their basses way too quickly. He goes, you know, start playing bass and some things become difficult and they're just like, oh, well, you know, I think I need a new bass. And they upgrade basses too quickly. And their playing doesn't improve. You know, they got to work through it is what he gets at. He goes, you know, get a bass, live with it for a while, good, bad, ugly, and it'll teach you something. And boy, is that advice dead on. When I bought this, okay, being more of a metal guy, the first thing I was thinking of was I didn't want a 4-string bass because I knew I would want that low B. Knowing what I know now, I still would have bought this bass. So that's a good thing. Knowing what I know now, I know what this bass is this bass can do and what it can't do, which is also a good thing. I also know that I have a long way to go, even with this cheap bass. Well, it's not cheap. I mean, $450 is not cheap. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money, but it's not all the money in the world when you could say compare it to a Dingwall, a Sire, upper end Sire, or even the upper end Ibanez's. The upper end Ibanez's are very expensive, but Ibanez has always been a really good bang for the buck instrument, whether it's guitar, bass, or whatever, acoustics, whatever. They've always been really good at giving you value for money. So I'm at that point where I'm a little bit over a year. I don't know if I'm at a year and a half of playing bass. Be around that anyway, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. And my fingers are doing good. They're doing good. Transitioning from string skipping from string to string on a 5-string is definitely more challenging for 2 reasons than a 4-string. Number one, you got more strings to mute. Number two, your string spacing is usually a little bit narrower on the 5-string than it is on the 4-string. So, it's easier to kind of get caught up on it. But that said, being a guitar player, the spacing between the strings for me is like all the space in the world, because I'm so used to even the 7-string and 8-string guitar players. Now, I play, violins and mandolins as well. So like string spacing on this is, it's plenty. But when you're doing the slap guitar, slap bass thing, that's where you notice the string spacing, can be a little more tricky with the 5-string and the 6-strings. Now, knowing what I know now, though, if I was to go back and buy this again, I would buy this, but I would buy the 6-string variant. I didn't know they made a 6-string variant, and I didn't know until after I bought this. And then after, I was like, well, I would have just started right off with the 6-string. And I know a lot of people say, if you're a new bass player, maybe start with the 4-string and then work your way up to a 5 or 6. And I understand that for somebody who has no musical experience whatsoever. But for somebody who's been playing guitar since they're 5 and are now 51, it's not like I'm not going to figure it out. You know what I mean? So it's more important that whatever you pick, to start with a 4-string, a 5-string, you're going to find a big challenge starting with a 5-string. But the thing about starting with a 5-string, go back and play a 4-string, which I played about a week ago. I played a short scaled Epiphone SG style 4-string, and man, was that thing ever spacious. It was so easy to play that thing, except for the strings were really dead on it and the action was really high. This bass plays a lot better because it's better set up. It's just been kept in better condition, but it's still the original string. So yes, it's time. It's time. Like for bass players, when you see rust, is that when you change the strings, or before you see the rust, or after you see the rust? I'm kidding. But bass players don't change their strings. Oh, they're expensive. Well, they're expensive and they're not. But I don't think you have to change your strings every gig, unless you want that really bright, buzzy sound that you can get with new strings. I don't like them too new, but I also don't want them completely deadified. So those strings are pretty deadified, but I mean, that's okay because of what it is. When I pick up this instrument, as you can see, it's not the nicest instrument at all. Like there's really nothing special about it whatsoever. It does the job. It's a tool. And the thing about it is, when I pick it up, I don't even think about the bass. I just think about what I'm going to play, because I'm not distracted by how beautiful the finish is or how great the fretwork is or anything like that. It's just like, can I play this or can I play that? Okay, work through it, play it. So from this moment on, I have to kind of divide my, it's been more than a moment on, but at least from 6 months ago, I've had to divide my musicianship into more categories. Getting proficient in the drums, getting more proficient on the bass as well, and staying proficient on the guitar and on that, and plus the vocals, and plus the violins, and plus the mandolins and whatever future instruments I'm able to be fortunate enough to get. So it is kind of one of those things when you have your eggs in a lot of different baskets. Sometimes some baskets get neglected, and I have been kind of neglecting the bass a little bit since I got the drum kit. I mean, I still pick it up at least once a week or whatever, but I should probably pick it up a little bit more. So you hear guys go on about training regimes all the time, come up with a good training plan and stuff like that. And I think that when you're a multi-instrumentalist, you have to force yourself to not just play the instrument you enjoy the most. You have to force yourself to kind of give equal love to all the instruments. Let's see what the time is. 'Cause the problem is these videos, they splice and okay, yeah. So so I want to apologize for neglecting my bass and not giving it enough time in the last past 6 months. I haven't been playing it enough. But the thing is I think I am ready for the second bass though.